Welcome to Mancave, and this is a place where we get to discuss all issues surrounding men. My name is Kunda, and today we are at Tolumba Resort here in 10 Miles, and we're looking at supporting a strong woman. And so, yes, a woman who earns more money than a man. He earns more money than her husband or her boyfriend. So, we're going to get into that, and help me discuss this particular topic today. I have my co-host, and this is Apostle Jeff Gracer. How you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you today?
Good. Looking all sharp.
You look better than me, bro.
I mean, there's just something about a jacket. It just does something.
Come on.
Yeah.
The jacket, sharp.
Jacket.
Jacket, sharp.
With a pocket square.
With a pocket square, and you know how it is.
Yeah.
You know how it is.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for everybody joining in, watching, tuned in. It's a great show. Make sure you invite somebody, share the broadcast, participate in the comment section, and we'll have a great time.
Oh yes.
Oh yes.
And we also have Pastor T. How are you, sir?
I'm good, thank you. I'm on top of the world. I look forward to this.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to a discussion. Thank you.
Yeah, I love that. So I'm on top of the world.
Not that moment.
Yeah, not that
moment.
Awesome. And we have Pastor Isaac. How are you?
Thank you so much. I'm good, thank you. How are you doing?
Good, good.
I'm holding the world in my hands. Playing with it.
Yeah.
Not that moment. Taking it for my big man. Moving my hands.
Yeah, interesting. And so today we have a very interesting topic. You know, we are looking at supporting a strong woman, and a woman who is earning more money than a man.
Yeah.
And so I'd love us, you know, to just get there and you know, just try to find out. Obviously, there's a common belief that when a woman is earning more money than the man, they're disrespectful. So can a man feel safe if at all the woman is earning more money?
I think Pastor T should begin.
So, before we go thus far, let me try to maybe bring out this type of woman we're talking about. There are 4 types of women born in any generation. The first type of the woman born is what we call the male seed. The male seed is somebody who has features of a man. They act and behave like a man because, number one, they might be born by DNA or nurtured into it by the one who brought them up. Number 2 type of the woman is we can have what we call the combined seed. Combined seed is a woman who can do both being a woman and act like a man. Then we have the third type of the woman we call the female seed. This is a complete woman. And then we have the fourth kind of woman we call the foreign woman, who you don't know who they are. They behave according to conditions, environment, and times. But we are focused on this woman, who we call the alpha woman or the strong woman, this woman that has got.
Yeah.
They come into play. Why? Because of 2 natures. Number one, they might have been born like that, or they are nurtured into it because of the person who had groomed them. The first person who can groom them can be their father, because they were raised up by a single father. Number 2, or they can be nurtured into an environment. Why? Because the mother was a single mother and she had to fight all her way in life. Therefore, they are nurtured into it to become who she can become. And this type of women, trust me, there are many, especially when this issue of girl empowerment came in from 1985 to where we are. There are many women who are more powerful. By the way, there are many women have more money than us now. Why? Because even village banking, they do better than us. So the nature of it is that at the moment where we are at, these type of women are present, and it's not easy to handle them. Why? Because they have been nurtured into it and nurtured into it. Nurtured into it. Why? Because of how there's a time and a season where divorce was prominent. So single women were left alone. They became men and women at the same time. So these are the women we are facing in this generation most time. So there are many of them, and I'll tell you, as a generation of men, we are in a crisis. I'll be very frank with you, in a crisis. Why? Because listen to me, they can pay their own bills. Yeah, listen, I'll be very hard on them. Listen to me. They cannot only pay their own bills, but also they can take care of themselves emotionally and mentally. Why? Because they can use whatever is around to buy what they want. So they are present right now in our society and times, and these are the type of women you should understand that they are not easy to deal with. You need to understand that they can be dealt with if you use their weakness as a strength against them. Or get there right there. So it's important for you to get there. So in using their weaknesses their weaknesses is to feel big, to want to take possession and to be in control of places and societies. So the best way you can go with them is to use their negatives, which most of them they are fears. So they use their fears to build up a wall around you to make you feel this is who they are. But naturally, as scripture declares in Genesis chapter 3, verse 15, your desire will be for a man and he will rule over you. They are scared to be ruled by a man, so they take their place because they are nurtured into it or they are nurtured into it.
Interesting.
Wow.
Pastor Isaac.
Wow, that's a mouthful of information and knowledge and wisdom there. It's very, very true. Starting from just when from the 19, like you had mentioned, from the 1980s, in the late 1980s, all the way up to now, a lot of women has arisen. Great and powerful women who have a lot of money. You know, they are strong emotionally. They are very strong in all these other areas. And so then what has happened, what transpired during this time, there was a rise of feminism. There was this rise in homosexuality. Homosexuality is basically, and feminism, they're not very different. Just that all of them, both of them, what they do is that they try to try to bring that masculinity of a man to kind of challenge it. To challenge that masculinity of a man. So the rise of these things, and also girl empowerment, which is a very good thing. I mean, I'm married, and I have a woman. My mother and my sisters are all women. So girl empowerment and all these things. What this did, they disfranchised the man. Today, I can tell you, if you go in any bank, go in any store, go on the streets to the people who are cleaning the streets, you're going to count 6 people. Of those 6 people, 4 of them are going to be women, 2 of them are going to be men. That's women empowerment, but that women empowerment, it is differentializing men. I can have a degree in business administration, a woman can have a degree in business administration. They're going to consider her more than they consider me. And I shouldn't talk about it. Why? Because it's women empowerment. So that has brought a lot of confusion in a lot of men. Men are confused. They don't know what to do. Sadly, it has also brought confusion in women as well. Even these most of them, I've been dealing with a lot of powerful women. They are very powerful, but they are extremely confused people. And so the man who wants to deal with these women needs to be above that. Like Pastor T said, you need to be really, really, really above in order for you to see things from a different perspective and a different point of view. Then you can be able to harness and be able to deal with these women.
Awesome. But if we're going to get to the issue of probably respect, and probably will come maybe to submission, mostly when you talk about supporting a strong woman, there's this fear as men of thinking probably this woman will not respect me. Like we're saying, they're here, so there's nothing we're going to do. They're here, so at some point we have to settle down with these strong women. But then with the fear of that probably this woman will not respect me, how do we handle this as men?
I think you're knowing yourself and your value, knowing your worth and who you are as a man, plays a great role in dealing with such kind of women. Being intimidated or feeling insecure with their wealth, with their knowledge, and with whatever that it is that they do won't actually help you. So as men, we have a challenge to up the game. We have a challenge to step up even greater, to greater heights. We have a challenge of becoming, role models to such kind of people. Like he said, you have to work on their weaknesses. So now the roles have been redefined. The man of the 1900s, the man of the olden days has to evolve and know what he can offer on the table to this strong woman. So before you even get intimidated about being respected, make yourself worthy of respect. Build yourself and have things that you can offer, all right, on the table that will command her respect. That even though she's strong, but there is something that you, all right, offer to her that will command your respect, that she has to respect. It may not be money, all right, she has the money. It may not be physical security, she can hire a security guard, all right. It may not be a car, she may buy her own car. But there are certain qualities that you need to build, which she cannot find anywhere. And from those things, that is where you command and earn your respect.
Awesome. Pastor, you wanted to add just what's
Yeah, the word submission, that's where we have had a challenge to say, how can a woman with money submit to a man without money?
That man.
The word submission is a combination of two words. Sub, of the main mission, which calls submission. So both of us, men and women, we are all both called to submit in a relationship.
Yeah.
The only thing that we have magnified the issue of submission only on the scale of women submitting to us. The way we submit to our women is, the Bible says, women, we submit to them by loving them.
Yeah.
Right? Christ came from heaven to come down and serve the church because they're representative of the church. And they also submit to us by, the Bible says, submit to your own husband in everything, which simply means these women should come to a place where they can't submit to a man who has no vision. So if you do not have direction, you should second-thinking yourself in terms of how to handle these women. By the way, they are so strong. But let me put this as we are going, because for me, I like to put something out. Remember, they can have everything, but they can't have sex alone. There's something that a man carries that which they need a man. The Bible says clearly to say, when God created man, he first introduced man on the scene, but they were created together at once. Then God introduced the man first so that the man may prepare the woman. It may prepare for the woman before she shows up.
Yeah.
So before even you attend to these women, you have to be prepared, as brother has been saying, Reverend has been saying. You have to prepare yourself in a place where you have to understand that if you do not have the three dynamics in life, when they come in, they find you without something missing among the three, you are in trouble. The first thing that you should have as a man is, number one, vision. Where are you going? Not where they are going. Where are you going? They should remember, when we propose it to a woman, we propose vision, we do not propose love. Because women do not fall in love, women grow into what we tell them where they are headed to. And the second thing, he should have a garden. A garden is what Adam was given before Eve was introduced. The question still stands, is that your garden should not be equal to our garden. Let it be the quality of your garden according to who you are, not who they are. And she is coming into your garden, not into her garden. Therefore, she has to join you in your garden. If you join her in her garden, you are in trouble, because she has made boundaries around her garden. Number three is that you should also have the capacity accordingly to produce after your own kind. God spoke to Adam, to say, whatever name you give to every animal, it will become. What are you naming around the environment that can make that woman surround that? There are certain things that women do not have. I'm saying this to everyone. Even now, they are not listening, but I know they can watch. I can tell you, they do not have the capacity of one thing that we have as men, the capacity to bring a certain environment in a place. Why? Because they cannot, I'll tell you, be magnified if there is no male figure in their life. Because it brings value to who they are. They are not complete until somebody is there. So the reality of it all, especially if these, I'll tell you, most of the CEOs in Zambia right now are women. I hope you're aware of that, right? But they are all married. They are all married. Let me repeat that. They're all married.
Absolutely.
By the way, the husbands are not prominent. But if you go where they stay and everything around, they might act high in the society. But when they go home, they are wives.
Absolutely.
And most women, they see them from where they are. They don't know where they are coming from. So for us, we have to understand that this crisis is right there before us, and the word submission has become, I can't submit to man. I know my value, I know my worth. I know my worth, but in reality, these are people now who are coming to me, asking me to say, now that I've grown old, what kind of a man should I get married to? They define themselves according to who they are, only to realize that age caught up with them, and time. And this caught up with them, especially when they have reached 45. Only to realize that the worth of a woman should have a child. The child should have somebody they call father. So they are in a crisis, and that's crisis. It is what causing them to wanting to pronounce this femininity in terms of the nature. But in reality, that's a sign of a crisis. And when there's a crisis in such a place, remember, the enemy will do everything possible to destroy a family. So for us, I want every man listening to us to let them know that, listen to me, man, just get to know yourself. Get to know your value. When you know your value, you do not propose a woman based on who they are. You propose them based on who you are. So if you propose a woman based on who they are, you can't carry them because they will be the carriers of a vision. Know your value. When you know your value, number two, as we have said, also don't live according to their income. Live according to your income. And they should impact. If you feel they are strong, they want to show, no, I can pay my own bills, share the bill with them. But one thing that they cannot do, the Bible says, it is not good for man to be alone. It's not good for man to be alone, not lonely. By the way, most people are lonely. But alone means that it's not good for a man to be alone. Why? Because he needs somebody who is a helper. They are helpers, by the way. And they are helpers, they have to come with something. They can come with the biggest bank account, whatever they have.
It's to help you.
It's to help you. Listen to me, if they have the money, they have to help the assignment. They have to help which assignment? Me have an assignment. If they have come, they drive Range Rovers, whatever cars they park around. Listen to me. Hey, they are from the assignment given to me. So when they come into your space, never be intimidated by them. Let them serve the assignment on your life. And that's what you need to understand. And if you're intimidated, they are vulnerable. They're so vulnerable that if you get to know their vulnerability, you'll be in a better place. Why? Because there are certain dynamics around them that they might act up, but there is a place when they are alone. And they realize, here, I need a lot. One of it, as I said to you, they can't give sex to themselves. Okay, this is Mancave. In fact, they cannot, never think they can use sex toys to compete with you.
Hey.
I'm serious.
Fire.
Sex toys have no emotions.
Absolutely.
The people who have emotions are us.
Yes.
Men, we have to give to somebody what they are in need of. That's the reason why I'm very frank in terms of how I bring things out. One of the things is that you have to bear in mind, that's the reason why men are on top. There is an assignment. There's an assignment. There's an assignment. It's showing you that Christ is higher than the church. Therefore, the dynamics we need to understand that no matter where we are at, as a man, if you are listening to us, a woman comes into your life to be a helper, to save God's assignment over your life, not their assignment. You are the one in charge. Thank you.
Interesting.
How do you get to that place where you are not feeling intimidated by all these things? Because I feel that is one thing that many brothers would be scared of. How do you get to that place where they don't intimidate you?
You know, there are very, very interesting points that Pastor T has raised. Very, very big points. One of the points that he raised is that a woman cannot have sex with herself and then they need the man to give it to them. Do you actually know that the greatest need of a woman is not, this is Mancave, it's not penetration. The greatest need of a woman is to be held.
Wow.
To be held. That's what they need. They need to be held. A woman would appreciate being embraced more than being penetrated. That's why there's no need for you guys to be go to Mitoto and to get all those things. They're not as important. Okay? They're not as important unless a woman is a prostitute. But a normal woman enjoys more being embraced, being kissed, being treated with respect, and that they enjoy that very much. So, number one, Pastor T mentioned about the mission. that you cannot propose a woman based on a mission, and that's a problem that is there now, because a guy sees a woman with a big car and goes and proposes based on the big car or based on the big job. You can't do that. You have already lost the battle. You propose from your point of view. Every woman in this world needs a father. Every woman needs a father. Some of them are broken, some of them behave in that particular way because they've had very bad experiences with their father. Some of them because their fathers were strong. Let me give you an example, because you mentioned me specifically.
Yes.
Because you're asking me because of my wife.
I know.
Yeah, you know, you're a bad guy. You're a bad guy. You want to embarrass me that I'm married, that my wife has married me. so
You have a strong wife.
When
You have that wife.
When I was marrying my wife, there were a lot of things. At that particular moment, I was in a very bad position in terms of finances. My business had collapsed. Completely collapsed.
Yeah.
I was just pastoring, and my church was small. People were not tithing. People were not giving offerings.
Yeah.
So I was just a brother who was just walking, strapping, no car, nothing.
Yeah.
And then I find this woman who's educated, drives her own car, lives in her own house. You know, she's doing her own things. And but I proposed to her based what Pastor T mentioned, based on the vision that I had for her. I told her, girl, I'm going to take you in nations. You know? And she looked at me, and there I was, sitting in her car, telling her, I'm going to take you in nations. I'm going to take you in the nations, you know?
Yeah.
And so when I took her out, the first time when I took her out in the nations, I told her, look, you remember what I told you? I'm going to be taking you out in the nations. So I gave her my vision, but I also showed her the love of a father. I gave my wife that love of a father because she was so close to her father. In fact, when we were in marriage, I think for the first 1 year of our marriage, everything father, everything my father. You know, so I started realizing the role that the father had in our life. And I took up that role. I took up that role to the point that she started saying, you know what, I don't feel the gap anymore. You are my father. From that point of view, there's no woman who can ever submit to a man. Submission is a two-way forward. It's a two-fold thing. A man submits in a way, and then the woman submits, like Pastor T mentioned. We so amplify this submission of a woman and forget about the submission of a man. But the man also needs to submit in one way or the other. Yes, one unto the other. So when you are a father can never be intimidated. You can never have money. You may not have money. Things may not be going the way they're supposed to go. But you are a father. You know, a father is a father. And as a father, you always be on top. I know Pastor T mentioned about being on top. Nowadays, Pastor T, people are, even there are other styles. So it's not always a man on top.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah, that's my point.
Alright, interesting. And so this is Mancave, and we are looking at supporting a strong woman, a woman who earns more money, you know, than a man. And so this is what we are looking at, and we are at Tolumba Resort today as we bring you all these issues surrounding men. And so I'm just gonna put it a bit plain. Let's say a woman earns more money, like we're saying, earns more money than a man. As a man in a home, are you still a provider of that home?
Yes, sir. My wife used to be paid 10 times more than me, which means I used to be paid a tithe.
Wow.
When I married my wife, I met my wife, she was working, she had a better job. I was a student at Kaniki Bible College. So when I joined into ministry, she was already working for over 8 years, so she was in a better position. So what people should understand, that as we have said to everyone, to say, a man is a carrier of a vision. And where there is a vision, there is provision. I want you to understand that submission in everything means you bring your money under the submission of your husband. So I learned one thing, that the moment I became intimidated by Paisley, it became a challenge. It became so much a challenge that even when I was proposing her, but let me just be real, when I was proposing her, I only had 17 kwacha. By then we used to use 17,000 kwacha those days, 17 kwacha. When I took out, by the way, we ordered food, and the bill came to 16 kwacha, or 16,000 kwacha. Then she asked me, are you eating? I said, no, I'm fasting. But I didn't have money. So at one point, the confidence I had in me made me take her to places where she thought, my God, this man is good, not knowing that I had to sacrifice a lot for her. So, as I said to you, do not live according to her income. Live according to your income. If she wants to raise the bar high, she cannot come to you by doing things to herself and by doing things without consulting you. By you consulting on what she can do gives you power, because you are the one in control. You are spending on the budget because you are the man. So being in this position, I remember being castigated or being told things by her relatives to say, you're going to survive eating money from a plate. Oh my God, those were moments. I'm with you, guy, if you are listening to me, and I know you are in a situation where you are not providing for your family. It's not good. Provision is to the vision, not to a person. So many people focus on the person, and this is what I want you men to realize. Why are you so focused on you?
Yes.
Because if you do not have a vision, you are a child. You have heard what the man of God has said. I said the same to her. I told her that I would take you to the end of the earth. When we went to school in Cape Town and we were by the ocean, I told you, this is what I promised you, that I'll bring you to the ends of the earth, because I brought you to a place where Atlantic and Indian Ocean meet. I brought you to the end of the earth. So when a man should come to a place where you have to understand, even the money that your wife earns is part of the money of the budget. By the way, if you have guts enough and you are powerful enough, you can go as far as using a money as part of the budget. The only thing that I have to teach, I teach premarital counseling, is to tell the couple that though the woman may be getting more money, you have to, number one, do not spend any money on anything until you have told your husband, we have been paid. Because I've been paid, you have to plan now, how will our budget be? Whether the man is contributing 10% or you are contributing 90%, the reality of it, the money is serving the purpose of the family, not an individual.
Yes.
Therefore, this is what most men need to come to realize, that these issues that you are scared of, they don't even exist. By the way, so most of you are single because the people you want, let me push it this, I wanted to push that. Yes. Most people are too single now. Why? Because the type of the woman they want is the type of the woman who can father them. Why? Because they grew under a single mother. So they were used to the voice of the woman. So they were looking for the woman who can act like a man in them. And their nature, this is why I say that their natures become like women in the way they act and behave. So when they come into your place, you do not need to have a six-pack or whatever packs you can have. You need just to bring vision before you. A woman will follow a person with a vision. If you are directionless, listen to me, you'll be taken care of by a woman. And before time, you will fail. So it's possible, when money comes into your house, it's not coming as a money. It is your money supporting the vision. So in every way, remember this thing, let every woman understand this thing. It's not about how much she makes, how much she does. These things do happen. Listen, these things can happen. But do you know that most of the people who are married, who are polygamists, we don't believe in polygamists. I'm just giving it as an example. Most polygamists, are you aware that they are not the men who marry men wives are not providers? The women they are married to, they are the one who provide for them. So in reality, this is where we need to come to as a nation, to understand that as a woman, once you put your vision in place. But I said to you that you do not propose a woman love. You propose a woman vision. Why? Because it has to be a proposal. When it's a proposal, listen to me, it's accepted. And then you write a dissertation along the way, the complete document. So whether the money comes from her, it is coming from there, it's all supporting the many document according to the assignment. Be fruitful, multiply, increase upon the earth. And that has to be in the mind of a man. Being scared, whether you like it or not, these women who are managers, they look amazing. They just have that vibe around them that wants you to be attracted to them. It's not money, the confidence that money brings to them.
Yes.
Remember that money is the most powerful instrument in the world apart from God. Therefore, because money is the most powerful instrument apart from God, we have to bear this in mind, that whoever has money has power, because the Bible says clearly to say wisdom and money is a defense. So because there are defenses, when you have it, you are so powerful than the people who do not have it. But listen to me, use the same money your wife is bringing, not to support you or to make you buy a car so that you go show off to other women. That's where you miss it. She is supporting you, not supporting you, supporting your vision. You use this what she's bringing in to go and look for other women. No, that money is meant to support the assignment of God over your life. If you have no assignment of God over your life, you have missed it up. Why? Because we'll be using our resources to wanting to have other women around.
I think that's a very, very important point, the final point, because what we see also is the other extreme of guys.
Yes.
Who don't want to work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who are not doing anything.
Yes, this one. Yeah.
Who are not interested in,
anything.
Yes. My wife is bringing. I think there's a name called the Ben 10.
Yes.
The Ben 10.
Oh, Mario.
Yes.
Another word called Mario.
Mario.
I've forgotten my wallet. I've forgotten my wallet.
Baby, pay this.
Yes.
Baby, do that. So I think that is the other extreme which a man must not go to. Don't relax just because you have a woman that is supplying or providing or earning more than you are, and you should never develop that kind of mindset of being comfortable. I like what you said. No, don't budget on her income. Budget on your income.
Man of God, let me just make sure that we are sure.
Yeah.
Do not budget on her income.
Yes.
Budget according to your vision.
Budget according to your vision.
Yes.
Budget according to your vision. All right. Thank you for that.
Just to add on that one, I can give my own example. So when I married my wife, remember she had her own home, she had her own things, her own everything. She had everything that a person needs in a home. I had my own simple home, with my own little few things.
Yes.
But I said, I'm married. It's me who's marrying you. So you are coming in my home.
Yeah.
Wow.
You are coming to stay with me in my house. So I don't want any of your things. Keep them. Those that you bought, keep them. It was a big issue. Okay, so she said, okay, if that's what you want, then also I don't want your few issues. So you also sell your few issues. So if that's what you want, then we need to start on the neutral ground. Okay, so I said, yeah, I didn't have to lose a lot, I hope she's not listening. So I said, I said, no problem. I'm going out with that. So I gave out my stuff to my brothers, and she gave out to also our relatives, and we started our home. When we got married, we had nothing, literally, like we just had the stove and the bed. We started, and I married quite late in my years. People would make fun of me when they come home. But don't have seats and stuff like that. But then it was because from that point of view, because I brought her into the vision. I brought her under my roof, under my submission. So there were two different things, like what Pastor T said and what you have alluded to. I said, now that I've brought you under my vision, under my roof, there are two things that are happening. There are two individuals. You and me were different individuals, but you're coming together to build. I use the word estate. So we are building an estate, which is a family. So the money that you are bringing and the money that I'm bringing, we put it into the estate. And who runs the estate? It's me.
Yeah.
Who has the capacity to run the estate between the two of us? It's me. I'm the head of the house. So then I run the estate, not on my own behalf. I run the estate on behalf of the family. So it's my goal to ensure that there's nobody who's not angry in the house. I don't know where the money is coming from, but whatever money is coming from, no one is going to sleep without food. No one is going to go without a roof under them. So because I'm running the estate of the family, when we are building, making other projects, wherever the money is coming from, it's me who manages that estate. My wife knows, even if she gets money from wherever she gets it from, she has to bring the money in the estate. And me, as the one who's running the estate, I have to be faithful. Because if I'm not faithful, I'm taking the money to my selfish needs. I'm taking it to things where it's not supposed to go to. that's where the submission comes in. I'm submissive to her because I'm also able to account for
Just
the
on
estate.
that, I'd love maybe my final question on that is how do you then, as a man, when you know that she's a better financial manager, she earns more and she's a better financial manager, how do you then reconcile the two?
So you have to bear in mind, every home has a structure.
Yeah.
One of the structures is budgeting. Budgeting is so important. Why? Because the person who should be in charge of the budget should be both of you.
Yeah.
So when it is commissioned, like any nation of Zambia, the nation of Zambia has a budget. When the Minister of Finance commissions the budget, I want you to know that it goes to serve the purpose of the nation and the people in the nation. So the most important thing is to understand that when it's natural, it's supposed to be the president's budget.
Yeah.
But the Minister of Finance makes the pronunciation in the budget because he has a better understanding of how budget, but he's serving the interests of the presidents and the people of Zambia. The same way as a man who is in charge of the house. If my wife, she's a better manager. By the way, all women think they are better managers of money than us. They all think they are better managers. That's the truth. That's the truth, by the way. That's the truth.
Yeah.
Just know how to manage things. The principles in any marriage should be, I tell people, that once you are budgeting as a couple, you all earn money one way or another. Number one, you should have 4 bank accounts. The first bank account should be yours. The second should be hers. The third one should be a savings account. The other one has to do with the expenditure account. So when you make a budget, take whatever money you are contributing to it and put into the expenditure account. And then you have to bear in mind on how much you put in this. So the person, you have to bear in mind as a man, your assignment is simple. Do not deal with battles in the house. They are not necessary. Deal with wars in the house, and there are very few world wars. If you can, World War I, World War II. Anything that affects the direction of the future of the family, you are in charge.
Yeah.
Including if whether she's bringing more money into the account, if you are building a house, you are making something that is your investments into the future. You are in charge. Let her deal with the everyday issues with her body. Changing curtains, changing the setting. Let her deal with those things. And women thrive on that. Most men are busy trying to fight their wives over simple things, conflicts. Those are not things that you should fight over. In other words, wisdom, I'll give an example. Are you aware that the Proverbs 31 woman, she's the most powerful woman, but she can't function without wisdom. And the Bible says Christ is the wisdom of God, and Christ represents the headship of who the husband is. She might have the money, and she's bringing more money into the system, but wisdom has to help, because the dynamics. Yes, it's okay to have frictions. It's okay to go through issues over and over again until you come to a place where you can have a working culture. The reality of it all, women are not as difficult as we think.
Understand.
Yes, they talk more. 6,000 words in a day. It's not easy. They might say things that's concerning money. It's not everything they say concerning money you should pay attention to. Because the moment they make a statement about money, the moment you sound insecure, you are building insecurity in the life and future of your family. Let there be trust in you and in the vision that causes her that she can believe in you and put all the resources into the vision. And that's where it is. And most men have come to a place of thinking, she's earning more, she has an attitude. In other words, let me say this way. In a relationship or in a job, if you see that somebody has a challenge, she has an attitude, the problem is not her. The problem is you. Because women do not become anything unless that which you are presented to them.
Yes.
So because of who they are by nature, become this person, no matter what, who has the capacity to give her the freedom to manage the budget because she's a proper financial manager. But yet, do not be aloof. Which means, number one, if something is not okay in the house, present it. Don't be scared because you don't have money. Present the issue. If it will be borrowed within the system of the house, because it's also a system like government. We can borrow locally and internationally. So we can go locally to say, hey, there's a challenge here, let's borrow.
Let's borrow, yes.
Remember, after my wife being paid 10 times more than me, because of who I believed I was, in 3 months, how many months? In 3 years.
3 years.
In 3 years, sorry. In 3 years, I started making money 3 times more than her. Why? Because she believed in the vision and supported it. So it's important for you to know that these issues of insecurities we go into, men thinking, oh, there is money here, so what will happen here? What am I going to say? Listen to me. Do not present budgets to her. Present the vision to her. Oh my God, I pray for you. Present the vision to her. She can only support the vision, not your need, not your wants, not everything. So if she's a better financial manager, listen to me. If you can explain to a woman how the money will be used yourself. But if she starts explaining to you how the money will be used, you're in trouble. Why? Because she's now managing the system. So remember, vision you have to bear in mind that there should be battles that you bring out every day. Ignore them. That's the reason why I tell everyone that I've counseled to tell them, are you aware that women, don't listen to your woman's first statement? It's a lie. They're just introducing the story. Listen to your woman third statement after she's making the same statement. If she says to you, we don't even have food in this house, I don't know what is happening, she is not attacking you. By the way, she's just presenting the first statement, introduction. The second statement she'll make, we don't even know how we will manage these things. Don't respond to that as a man. Respond to the third statement she'll make. We need to put money in place for us, because everything women say points to money. That's the reason why I'm scared of them. Therefore, because it points to money, she is waiting for you to make a decision. Tell her, listen, at the moment, guys, this is never borrow money from your wife. Because women don't want you to borrow money from them. They will pinda you.
Even if it's the one quarter, you have to pay it back.
So you have to not borrow money from your woman or anything. Ask for help from them. Because they are helpers.
Exactly.
And once they help you, they will be so happy that they helped you.
Absolutely.
So in the process of time, once she's asking you the third question to tell you, tell me what to do.
Exactly.
Just ask her to say, so how much do you have? And he says, I have this. Okay, I think that can sort out the issue. She's just looking for direction, not what the people may understand. And that's where the issues are, I'm telling you.
Interesting. And we're out of time, but Apostle Jeff Grace, your last word.
Know yourself, know your worth, know who you are, and I think my take home once again is the vision. Let's make it as plain as clear. Believe in your vision yourself. Even as you're bringing somebody onto the vision, they're able to support it and run with it, understand it, and you're going to do exploits. I think it's a plus if you have that strong woman in your life. It's a plus. You move faster. You get your vision faster. So don't be intimidated. Know what you can bring on the table, and that is your vision, because she needs a vision.
Awesome. Pastor Isaac, your last word.
My last words, I would recite the words of Pope John Paul II. He said something that is very important. He said, man is not important for what he has, but man is important for who he is. So, who a person is has more value than what they have. And once you know who you are, once you know what you have, because most of the people, they want to go into marriages without bringing anything on the table. That's the problem. But you have to have something that you're bringing to the table. And once you fall in love with a person and you understand each other, money is just material. There's something beyond it. That's why people are still, even if they have money, they still want to get married. That's why even when people, they have money, they still want companionship, they still want friendship, because it's not enough. Money in itself is not enough. It needs something to accompany it. Money is good. We chew it, we feel good chewing the money when we have companionship around us. So be confident and go for that woman. She's yours.
I love that. Awesome. And so this is what we've had today on Mancave, and we'll be back next week. And next week we're going to get to part 2, and we're going to look at the alpha female, women that are in leadership. And so how do we handle that as men? But so many things have been discussed today, and I've had Pastor T, Pastor Isaac, and Apostle Jeff Gracer, and I heard something. Pastor T said, "Don't propose love, propose the vision." So make sure you do propose the vision. Many thanks to Tolombo Resort for hosting us today. But we have to go now. We'll be back next week with part 2. Bye bye for now.